Good afternoon, everyone. David at Elevate Golf Performance Center with this week's topic, how to load correctly into the trail side. You know, getting this done right really sets the stage for the downswing because you don't have very much time to self-correct in the downswing. So I really feel like if we can get a golfer really loaded correctly in the trail side, then a lot of good things happen after that. One of the things I see most players don't do correct is the width of stance. Now it sounds simple, but the width of stance is very important to create the torque in the golf swing, especially in the backswing. There's a torque going on in the backswing that happens quite early. I'm going to demonstrate it with a correct width of stance, and I'm talking about a medium iron, 6, 7 iron, you know, somewhere along that. A little wider as obviously as we get to the longer clubs, a little more narrow with the shorter clubs. But width of stance, err on being a little wider than too narrow because that's going to help your base. It's going to help these torques take place once that club's underway. So generally speaking, width of stance slightly outside my hips for this medium iron here. And you can sort of get an idea that from my hip joints, you can see that my feet are outside my hip joints. That's setting the stage for these torques to take place once I start the backswing underway. So I've got this square representing the center of mass of my body. So roughly speaking, I'm 50-50 on the feet here, trail lead, and I've got center mass here. So the average center pressure, generally speaking, is right up through the center of my body, which is where you want to start at address. Once we're in this good setup position, as we start this club away, the early stage of this backswing, there's a pressure shift that's underway quite early, and it's not the mass shifting. There's a slight mass shift to the right to sort of get the action started, but the pressure moves quite early into this trail foot. So if I were on my force plates, you would see this pressure vector sort of start to spike up. Here's the key. It's got to be, the pressure movement has got to be out to the right of the center of mass. That creates a torque in this trail side that starts the rotation to get the load into this right hip and gets the right side sort of pivoted out of the way behind, so you're loading into this right side. So let's go over it again. It's a slight early takeaway. Pressure shifts early into this trail side. Roughly when hands are about waist high here, we're about 75% into this trail side. That's super important to get that done early. If we're too late in this load into the trail side, the shift, pressure shift, then we're going to be late in transition, and then that's when some trouble occurs. So give this a try, check width of stance, work on the feeling of the pressure shift into the trail side early.